of high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by...
At Central Maine Community College,
I'm going to be a pathologist.
There is something for everyone.
An athletic trainer, physical therapist.
Your future starts here.
And Coram Credit Union, inspired by brighter futures and proud to support students, athletes, and the community. Learn more at ancorumcu.com.
Coastal Auto Parts, selling Napa auto parts since 1981. Owned and operated by a Maine family and proud to support student athletes.
Hammond Lumber Company, serving contractors, homeowners, and do-it-yourselfers with building supplies and custom services from 34 locations across.
From the Augusta Civic Center, it's the 2026 MPA Girls Class D State Final, presented by Hammond Lumber, between the Penobscot Valley Howlers and the Mount Abram Roadrunners.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Augusta Civic Center for today's Class D Girls Basketball State Championship game between the PVHS Howlers and the Mount Abram Roadrunners. I'm Brandon Terrell alongside Karen Magnuson. And Coach, nice crowd in here this afternoon. This should be a good one.
Yeah, the crowd's been coming in. They showed up for the games before. It's going to be packed all day. If you're not in Augusta, you should get here.
At PVHS, looking to go back-to-back and win 2 straight gold balls. They were able to win Class C last year in Class D in the new classification, and looking to double it up.
Yeah, they're very good. I mean, you've watched some of the games, and they're playing very experienced. They have kids that have been here before, and they don't look nervous at all. And I'm watching them warm up, and it's the same thing. But Mount Abram's going to have something to say about that. They're excited because they haven't been here before, and they want to prove that they deserve to be here.
All right, at this time, we're ready to throw it to our sideline reporter, Ethan Snow, who caught up with PVHS head coach Nate Case.
All right, standing by with Coach Case from Penobscot Valley. Coach, no stranger to these big games. You were just here last year. Class D this time. What kind of different challenges did that bring to this game?
The locked-in factor. So the girls, a level of complacency is going to happen throughout the year. They finally accomplished a big goal, and so we've been struggling with that. Once they're locked in, though, they've been incredible. So it took us a little time, but it doesn't matter the class. Our competition is what makes us the best version of ourselves. So.
This is a really good moment. Mount Abram team you're taking on today. What did you see during your preparation this week what did you see that might surprise you? What didn't surprise you?
Yeah, they change defenses a lot and well, and they defend hard. They do all the small things, and everybody knows how important that is. We talk about skill and will and how important both those things are, and they're definitely bought into all the will things, and we are too. And so I think they have a great balance, and they believe in what they're doing. So it's always important to believe in what you're doing. So.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, you see the Howlers, 5 losses on the year. 3 of those were to Bangor Christian, 2 to undefeated Mattanock Academy, and they're key players to watch here this afternoon. They have a big 3 led by Brooklyn Raymond and Riley Moulton, along with Lila Cummings. They're going to be tough to stop. They put up a lot of points.
Oh, and they're just so much fun to watch, the way that they play together, their pace, the way they can shoot and create. It's going to be tough.
All right, now we're ready to go back to Ethan Snow, who caught up with Jason Wing, head coach of the Mount Abram Roadrunners. Ethan.
Standing by with Coach Wing from Mount Abram. Coach, first time this program's been in this game since 2007. You're going up against a team who was just here last year. What was the preparation like this week?
We're practicing handling their pressure. We expect to get pressured a lot, so been working on the press, try to slow them down a little bit. Hopefully maybe turn it into a little bit of a half-court game, hopefully.
What was anything you took from the regional tournament you could apply here tonight? Of course, we know how experienced this team is. Anything that you saw in the regional tournament that you apply here tonight?
Just getting a little bit of experience on this court is big for our girls. The seniors, none of the girls have played here before, so just getting the 3 extra games, getting familiar with the crowd, the area, the floor. So hopefully that helps us tonight, I guess. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight. Brandon, Coach Magnuson, back to you.
All right, the Roadrunners, a defensive team, only allowed 29 points per game in the regular season. That was the best mark in all of Class D. And they are led by Stella Peterson and Jenna Osgood. They're big, they're physical, and they are tough.
Oh, they are so tough. And he's right. Playing in the half court, they are so hard to get anything easy at the rim, and that's what they're going to have to rely on today.
It's a bit of a clash of styles. PVHS can really put up points. They average 66 points per game in the regular season. Mount Abram, as I mentioned, the top defensive team in Class D, only allowing 29. So if it's a 50, 60 point game, advantage PVHS. If it's down in the 30s or 40s, perhaps advantage Mount Abram.
Absolutely. And Mount Abram's used to doing this, right? They've played Spruce Mountain that scores a lot of points, and they held them to lower point totals too. So should be a fun one.
And now it is time to send things over to our PA announcer for the lineups and the anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Maine Principals Association and FAME, the Finance Authority of Maine, remind you that interscholastic athletics are an extension of the classroom. We ask that you support all student athletes, coaches, officials, and spectators with positivity throughout today's contest. Thank you in advance for your support of sportsmanship and of the 2026 MPA Maine State Basketball Tournament presented by Hammond Lumber Company. Good afternoon, basketball fans, and welcome to the Hammond Lumber Company Auditorium at the Augusta Civic Center for the Maine Class D Girls State Championship game between the Northern Maine champions, the Penobscot Valley Howlers, the visitors in the dark uniforms, and the Southern Maine champion Mount Abram Roadrunners, the home team in the light uniforms. Our officials are Mr. Barbie, Mr. Ricker, and Mr. Bradley. The scorer is David Burns. The timer is Ed Bear. And on the score clock, Dave Turtelot. Before announcing the starters, we'll introduce each team member. First for Penobscot, number 4, McKenna Ireland. Number 12, Casey Loring. Number 13, Nicole Solomon. Number 15, Julia LeBrun. And number 32, Paxton King. For Mount Abram, number 2, Willow Batchelder. Number 10, Nadia Moore. Number 11, Avery Pratt. Number 20, Autumn Emery. Number 21, Jasmine Carlton. Number 22, Sakari Savage. Number 23, Trinity Wright. Number 30, Violet Wyman. And number 40, Kaylee Viles. And now, fans, let's meet the starters for our championship game. At guard for Penobscot, a junior, number 2, Brooklyn Raymond. At guard for Mount Abram, a senior, number 4, Abby McCarty. At guard for Penobscot, a senior, number 3, Riley Moulton. At guard for Mount Abram, a sophomore, number 5, Stella Peterson. At guard for Penobscot, a sophomore, number 10, Charlotte Brochu. At guard for Mount Abram, a senior, number 12, Jenna Osgood. At forward for Penobscot, a senior, number 20, Lila Cummings. At guard for Mount Abram, a sophomore, number 1, Evelyn Pepin. And at forward for Penobscot, a junior, number 31, Abby Farley. And at guard for Mount Abram, a junior number 33, Vega Rollins. The head coach for Penobscot Valley is Nate Case. The head coach for Mount Abram is Jason Wing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise as we honor our great country with the playing of our national anthem. Playing our Star-Spangled Banner this afternoon is Kai Bragdon, 8th grader from Penobscot Valley.
All right, great job of the national anthem. And Karen, we have keys to the game. First for the Howlers. They got to dial it up from long distance and get on the boards.
Yeah, you know, they've got to be able to shoot it against Mount Abram. Mount Abram's typically been able to dominate the rebounds and dominate the paint, that you have to be able to shoot outside to have success.
Over on the other side, Mount Abram needs to start strong. PVHS has tons of championship experience, including a Class C state crown last year. The Roadrunners can't fall behind big early.
Right, and they're new. They're going to have some jitters, but if those jitters can just not lead to buckets from the other team, then you're going to be in a good situation. Get out of those jitters, and then you'll be able to play.
There's one storyline developing as typical starter senior Autumn Emery for Mount Abram is on the bench with a big ice bag on her leg. I don't know if that happened in warm-ups, but Evelyn Pepin is starting for the Roadrunners. She was typically their sixth man throughout the regional tournament. So we'll see if Mount Abram can adjust.
Yeah, that's a big loss for Mount Abram. So
Penobscot Valley here with the first possession. This is Moulton. She drives baseline. Cut off by two Roadrunners. Skip pass. Open three-pointer is long. Rebound down to Cummings. They'll get another chance at it. Cummings attacks the basket. Puts up a left-hand shot. No. They have another offensive rebound. That one's knocked away by Peterson. Mount Abram now. Some pressure in their face here. Trapped over half court. Peterson ahead to Osgood. She'll take it to the rack. Put it up too strong, no. Rebound, Howlers.
And you saw both teams give a little bit of pressure. Obviously, Penobscot gave a lot.
Brochu off the window for two.
Charlotte Brochu.
Now we have a foul here after the shot. What do we have here, Coach?
I don't know if they saw like a
technical foul.
A foul, I think it was after.
Oh, we're going to call that a technical foul, a push on 31, it looks like.
Well, we knew it was going to be physical.
Yeah, we did.
Talked about that earlier, saying both teams, I would say in their conferences, are probably the most physical team.
So Abby Farley is going to be called for that technical foul, that push to Osgood's back there after the shot went in. Basket counts.
So it's going to be two shots and then the ball back.
Coach Wing gets to decide who he wants to shoot these foul shots. Looks like he will choose McCarty.
Abby McCarty at the line shooting from Mount Abram.
Abby McCarty gets two technical foul shots here, and Roadrunners get the ball. She misses the first.
I will say, as she's shooting these, Emery is a big loss, and it's sad she's a senior.
Right.
And you might see a little bit, like, Mount Abram is so hard to rebound against because of her.
Exactly.
That's a big loss, and I'm sorry for her and the team, but.
Sakari Savage, another senior, gives good minutes
Yeah,
also, big
yep,
post
she'll
player,
come in.
so she'll have pivotal minutes in this one.
They'll have to figure out how to rebound without her. And
Mount Abram made their one of the technical foul shots. They get the ball here to work against the PVHS zone. Osgood inside, tough left
see
hand
the
gets
seal?
it.
She had a great seal to set that pass up for herself.
Osgood.
Tough two with the left by Osgood. The Roadrunners have a quick advantage. 2-2-1 half-court trap applied here. Goes up the sideline. Raymond, three-pointer no. Mount Abram basketball.
I'm just calling it. You're not going to see her miss by that much more the rest of the night. I'm just saying.
Pumped here.
Yes.
A little too fired up.
She is good.
Big crowd on hand here at the Augusta Civic Center. Class D girls state championship game. 3-2 here in the early going. Pepin in the corner. Right through McCarty's hands. That'll be out of bounds over here towards us.
You can already start to see what Mount Abram's trying to do in the half court. They're trying to limit their dribbles and just try to make passes out of their traps because you don't want to dribble against this team. So they're doing a good job so far moving it around.
Mount Abram, zone trap, three-pointer, back rim, no. Rebound Cummings, left hand, yes.
And that's what they're going to be good at. Those shots go up. They're going to continue to hit the boards.
Both teams with this 2-2-1 pressure look. Mount Abrams was backed off more of a half-court trap, whereas this is more of a full-court press.
Yeah, and at Mount Abram, they will go a couple people in. They're not going to go that deep in their bench, so they're going to want to limit where they use all their energy. So
Vega Rollins inbounded for Mount Abram. Now Osgood into the front court. She needs a friend. Finds Stella Peterson. Back to Peterson now. Jab step, dribble drive into the paint. Puts up a tough runner. No. She's going to get her own rebound. Knocks it over to McCarty. McCarty gets into the paint with a floater.
nice touch. Good reads. You put that off just a little bit earlier than that defense. Great look.
Mount Abram, I'd say this qualifies as the strong start that they needed.
Yeah.
They are playing tough defense. You see Osgood goes flying into the table there, getting after that basketball.
And I think it's always, if you get that first basket in, and it's like it releases that pressure. And, you know, Osgood did that for them as their senior leader to get that one basket. Now they have some confidence.
McKenna Ireland had the ball in the corner. She's just an 8th grader as Raymond shoots it from deep. Swish.
Yeah, we're going to see a couple of those. She's good.
You could hear the net on that one with our basket microphones here on Maine Public. That was nothing but net. And now a turnover here up top. Howlers look to push. Raymond thought about another one. Now she gets it inside. Cummings goes left, leaves it for Brochu up and in.
That was a great pass. Cummings is going to have people have to step to her and have to try to stop her one-on-one, and if she can make those reads, that is hard.
Today's basketball coverage is made possible by Mainers like Chris Thornton, who supported Maine Public in his estate. His generous gift helps ensure that we can continue to bring you this annual tournament and showcase athletic achievement across the state. For more information how you can leave a legacy as Chris has done, call Scott Marcholden at 207-330-4510.
What's impressive about PVHS is, like, Mount Abram's doing a great job with their press breaker. They're limiting their dribbles, and it's not breaking the press. It's once they've gotten the half court, their pressure is still tough. And those traps.
That mini transition from we've broken the press now we need to run a half-court
offense. And they've gone a couple turnovers. It's like all of this is fantastic. It's then the next transition.
Good ball movement on the press breaker here as Peterson
gets
a tough
movement.
Stella Peterson.
I thought Pepin did a great job being patient, not forcing that layup and just kicking it out. Great look.
Now 2-2-1 applied here. Trap along the sideline. That's Ireland. Finds Raymond. Raymond thought about another three-pointer. Now tries Cummings in the middle. We'll stay down here.
And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to recover quickly to Raymond on the perimeter to limit those outside shots from her while trying to defend the inside.
Raymond wants the ball instead. Osgood's going to kick that one into the
So she's a good soccer player.
Yeah, heck of a soccer player.
Yeah, we played against her.
Both of these teams had great girls soccer seasons in the fall, kind of catapult themselves into the winter season and continue that success.
Look at that battle on the post.
Osgood and Cummings.
Yeah.
Battling inside. And now kick out. Moulton. Wanted Cummings, knocked away by Pepin. She corrals the loose ball ahead to McCarty. Has Peterson, and she's short. Knocked around. Osgood's going to track it down. Mount Abram will get another chance at it. Skip pass. McCarty wants 3. Too long. Osgood, though, can she save it? No.
She is playing so hard right now. She is in every big spot to try to make a play, whether it's defending the paint, getting an offensive board. Like,
Read her the preview in the Kennebec Journal that they wrote up about this game, and Osgood had a quote in there about how this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us. You could just tell how badly she wanted it.
And that's what it is, right? They're opportunities that sometimes kids make it a little bigger than it should be, and they get a little more nervous, but
she's
get a chance.
translating that just into hard-nosed, effective play here so far. PVHS has a baseline inbound. Gets it to Moulton. Moulton open for a 3. That's long. Rebound Peterson. Peterson needs Rollins. And now Stella gets it back. Advances into the front court. Osgood on the cut to the basket. Goes around Cummings. Up and in.
Such good patience right now by Mount Abram. And if something's not going their way, they just continue to play.
Good timeout by Coach Wing, too.
Yes.
They were down 9-5. PVHS had a quick run, and now Mount Abram with 4 coming out of the timeout, and we're all tied up.
I can tell you, we played them earlier in the season. They have improved a lot under him this year. Great job.
So you and the Marenica girls managed to give them one of their 3 losses on the year, up ahead to Pepin, stuck under the basket. McCarty gets it into the paint, knocked away by Ireland. Over to Peterson, long 3-pointer, no. Ireland on the rebound. She'll start the break. She has a crowd and able to get it to Brooklyn Raymond. Moulton, Brochu, baseline J, short. Rebound fought for. It's on the ground. And Ireland gets it. Raymond, 3-ball. Yes. Oh,
Brooklyn
Raymond, look out.
For 3.
I just love watching her play.
She is tough.
She is tough. She's a great passer. I was watching her in warm-ups, and just her energy of clapping and talking to her teammates.
Fans, we have a special programming note. Tonight at 6 p.m., following the Class D boys game, Maine Public will air a PBS NewsHour special report, War with Iran. This will not interrupt our basketball coverage, which will resume at 7 p.m. with the Class C girls from Augusta. Class A games will be broadcast on the Maine Public World Channel. For more information, go to mainpublic.org. All right, Karen.
Raymond, a junior.
Yes. Woo.
A junior. We'll get to see this again next year.
That's right.
Just
junior captain, right? Yeah. Her teammates thought enough of her to award her captain as a junior.
Yeah.
Or the coaching staff, right? 2 senior captains out there as well, Moulton and Cummings, trying to lead this Howlers team to back-to-back state championships. How hard is that to do?
It is. I can't. I've never been a part of that. I don't know what that feels like, but I can't imagine it's easy.
A little personal experience with it, but that's another story for another day. Now Peterson sets it up against the Howlers 1-2-2 zone. Pepin on the baseline attacks the basket, gets her own rebound. And McCarty, she'll put up a 3 and miss. Rebound Cummings.
They transition so fast.
She's going to go coast to coast herself, but she misses the layup and the frustration foul.
The pace of this game, you're watching. Great take.
Personal foul number 1.
Just missed. She wouldn't miss another one. But that's not a frustration foul, more of just she wanted to make another play after that. Great read.
Nice job by Farley to step in front of that. And around to Moulton, misses the jumper. Rebound Mount Abram. Nice job of defensive rebounding. Oh, the Roadrunners, look out. Moulton looks like a linebacker attacking the hole, and that's going to be a foul on Mount Abram.
Yeah. There have been some hits today. It's like, holy, whoo. But they're playing for a gold ball.
That's right, gold ball on the line.
This is not just any regular game.
Not for the weak of
they
heart.
called that
yeah, that's a moving screen.
Yeah.
Personal foul number 1.
I thought they were calling her getting into her.
Probably could have gone either way, but it went on Mount Abram. Offensive foul. Now the Howlers have the ball here and a 3-point advantage. Minute 23 remaining, opening quarter. There's a 3 ball that misses. One and done again. Rebound Peterson. Peterson brings it up herself, and that pass is knocked away. Here come the Howlers. Cummings, coast to coast opportunity again. She doesn't miss that one.
Told ya.
Not gonna
miss many of those.
Get a stop ball, and Cummings.
What great skill for her to be able to go coast to coast, multiple drives, right? You would think she's a back to the basket. She can handle.
Peterson's trapped. Needs a friend. Finds Vega Rollins. Now McCarty
Great
inside. Osgood works a pivot foot.
Good move.
And she's gonna shoot 2.
Mount Abram is starting to figure out, they're doing a great job in dead ball situations with their press breaker. Now they're trying to figure out their press breaker off of a rebound. They've had some turnovers, but right there they did a nice job getting it inside, moving it around away from their traps.
Osgood at the line shooting.
Tough post move there, up and under by Osgood, and she puts in the first one. Get the Roadrunners back within 4.
And she's one to watch away from the ball. She sets herself up for success, right? She's not just waiting and watching the ball. She's often getting her position 2 passes before it's even going to get to her.
Second one, no good. Mount Abram can't get closer than 4. Under 40 seconds remaining. And Ireland's left open. She'll take the elbow J and miss. Abram has the ball back. They'll get a chance for a shot here before the quarter's done.
And how quickly they're in their press breaker.
Oh, and also how PPHS.
I meant not press breaker, they're press.
Right, yeah, exactly.
How quickly.
I'm going to say, you really know teams that are really good at pressing if they can press off a miss.
Right.
Right? Anybody can set up a press after a make,
yes,
right, or after a dead ball.
But off a rebound, and they already had 2 up front.
Puts incredible pressure on your ball handlers.
Yeah.
And you see a turnover there. Osgood's able to take that away from Ireland. We got 15 seconds here to find a shot. Now Rollins gets it, tries to skip pass. That's knocked away. Almost right to you, Coach. Look out.
I got it. No, not close.
8 seconds remaining here for Mount Abram to find a shot. Sideline inbounds into Peterson, and she's got to get to work here. Rollins gets to the top of the key, leaves it to McCarty, and inside Pepin. They're going to run out of time. And they run out of time there along the baseline. That'll do it for the first quarter. PVHS on top over Mount Abram, 14-10. We'll have second quarter action for you after this. You're watching Maine High School State Championships on Maine Public.
Production of high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by...
At Thomas College, we do college differently. We do academics differently. We do community differently. We do careers differently. It's time to do college differently.
Sheridan Construction, a Maine company committed to building on their promise for over 75 years.
The environment is just awesome.
Great campus, small, close-knit community.
Everyone's really welcoming.
Everything feels very personal.
You feel like you belong here.
Join host Aislinn Sarnaki for Season 3 of Borealis, Maine, Public's Emmy Award-winning outdoor series. Whether hiking up to a beautiful vista or learning about Fly Rod Crosby, you'll experience Maine like never before. The new season starts April 2nd, right here on Maine Public Television. All right, Coach, second quarter, Mount Abram gets the basketball down by 4. What's Coach Wing talking about in his huddle?
You know, I think you commend them on how physical they're playing and how aggressive they're playing. Every ball that's loose, they're getting hands on. I think they just got to try to be a little more patient, which is hard to do against pressure. A little more patient with the basketball to limit some turnovers.
They attack this PVHS defense. Pepin stops and pops. Too long. Rebound Raymond. Raymond speed dribbles up the sideline. And behind the back. Around the horn. Now to Moulton. Farley back dribbles and resets.
You see that they're just going to pack it in and give that shot to Farley.
And she'll take it and miss. Back rim. And Raymond, tough left hand. Couldn't get that to go. Mount Abram gets the stop they need.
Here they come back. If Farley hits one of those, right, then you start trying to think, what are you going to do? Do you stay the way you're playing, or do you have to get out and shoot? But I mean,
looks like a great coach's decision when she misses it, right?
Yes, yeah.
Coach Wing, I thought of that.
Yeah.
That was me. Peterson now. needs some help. And bounce pass back to McCarty. They try the other side. And that's going to be knocked away by Cummings. She has a 2-on-1, and she attacks to the left hand. She'll shoot 2.
She's making great reads to get that gap and get some of those steals.
All right, Abram, that cross-court pass across basket line is risky against this zone. The Lady Howlers doing a nice job stepping in front.
Yeah. For the first couple minutes, they were open, right? That was what was open, and now they've adjusted, and they're starting to take those away.
Cummings misses the first. We talked in the quarter break, Coach, about the pace of that first quarter, how fast-paced it was, up and down, back and forth, how much excitement is in this gym. That can really sap your legs quickly.
Yeah, and that's why sometimes you want to get to halftime so then you can settle them even more, right?
Cummings misses both. Here's an opportunity for Mount Abram to close the gap. 14-10 here, still early in this one. Just over a minute into the second quarter. Class D state championship, gold ball on the line. Gold ball is going back to Salem Township or up I-95 to Howland, one or the other. And Strong over the pass, off the top pass to McCarty. That's knocked away. Another turnover on the ledger.
Great recovery by Pepin there.
Around the horn to Cummings. And she attacks Pepin. And Osgood with the help defense.
See, that's a great shift by putting Farley to the block, right? If they're not going to mark her on the perimeter, then you make them defend you on the block.
Double stack set here. Yeah. And Moulton works the baseline, now gets the ball screen. And
nicely defended.
Nothing shakes loose for the Howlers. They'll reset now. Raymond, dribble drive, tried to stop and take that jumper, and she was fouled and will shoot 2.
That's a great pull by her. There wasn't anything developing, and she ends up seeing just enough space. She almost, actually in that picture, it looked like she was going to dump it down on it, but they got her on the arm.
Foul number 2. Raymond at the line shooting.
First one is swished through by Raymond.
You can see her when she has the basketball, how she's thinking through the options on the floor. She's just a smart player.
Junior captain misses the second. Good rebound by Jenna Osgood. One of their last 4 at the foul line for PVHS.
And look, they're in their 2-2-1 off a miss. So impressive.
It takes a lot of mental awareness to be able to transition that quickly from offense to defense even after a miss.
Yeah. Great pass.
Peterson's got an open look for 3, but she misses. Osgood had good position. That's knocked out of bounds from behind. It'll stay down here with Mount Abram.
Again, Osgood getting position before the shot even went up to try to get that.
Baseline inbound started a little soon. Now Stella Peterson inside. Osgood works the pivot foot, left hand, got it.
Great move. She's playing with so much confidence. She looked at her and said, give me the ball. Saw her hand go, give it to me, I want it.
She is locked in this first half, Jenna Osgood. Now she's calling out defensive adjustments and closes out on the shooter. Not quick enough. That's cashed through.
We're going to keep seeing some of those.
For 3.
Raymond from the corner. Now Mount Abram tries to find an answer. Osgood wants it again. She attacks the basket. Tough right hand this time and got 2 more.
Left, right. Ooh. She is tough inside.
Making some defensive calls now. Got her Roadrunners back within 4. McKenna Ireland dribbles inside, back out.
And Mount Abram quickly adjusted. They've taken Rollins and they've just stuck her to Raymond, which, coach, another good move. I think anybody would want to do that. Try to take away her shot.
Back to the double stack set. And it comes out to Moulton. Moulton tries to drive to the other side, and that's taken away. Good defense by Mount Abram. Osgood now in the open court, gets it into the paint.
Good patience.
Needs a kick out, finds McCarty, and that's no good. Offensive rebound here, though, by Peterson. They'll get another chance. Vega Rollins, deep 3, kiss off the glass.
Is open.
Bank's open on a Saturday here in Augusta. They're back within 1. Got a good one brewing here at the Civic Center here this afternoon to start the Class D session. Cummings at the elbow. She's hounded by Peterson, loses it temporarily, and now it's tied up. Now it's knocked away.
Man,
it's tough in there.
It is so tough. Both these teams, they are fighting for everything.
Now Mount Abram has a chance to take a lead. They can get more points on this trip.
Look at that, 4 or 5 passes, no dribble, high post,
Nice
opposite.
bounce pass to finish across to Savage, and she gets 2.
Picture perfect. Let's break a zone.
All 5 players touch the ball, tic-tac-toe, up and in for 2. The Mount Abram student section liked that one.
That was fantastic.
Hey fans, if you want to watch this game again, or maybe a game that you played in, become a member and get access to Passport, Maine Public streaming service. With games going back to 2010 and more being added, you can relive a great game and support this broadcast at the same time. Go to mainepublic.org, support this broadcast, and get Passport, and thank you.
You know what I love about goal ball games?
What's that?
That even the littlest things or things that in the season wouldn't matter. In the fact of a bank 3 in the season.
Right.
People are like, oh my gosh, I hit a bank 3. But a bank 3 in a goal ball game is heck yeah.
Yeah, that's something
right?
you'll be telling your grandkids about someday,
True,
right? Be like,
right?
I pulled up from 3 feet beyond the arc, banked it in.
But she banked it, got the next steal, and they scored again. Like, that's momentum, right? It doesn't matter how things occur, but if good things happen, you're headed in the right direction.
Senior captain Jenna Osgood leading this Mount Abram team.
She really is.
Back on top. It's impressive to watch down here, I gotta say.
Yeah, you see her talking right now. She's clapping away. They're running a triangle in 2 right now on Moulton and Raymond, and she knows exactly what they're supposed to do.
8th grader McKenna Ireland puts it up. Can't get it to go. And the captain with the rebound. She brings it up herself. Now she picks up a ball screen and attacks from the right side now. Gets it inside to Savage. Savage puts it up, no. Rebound fought for, controlled by Cummings.
And here she comes.
She's gonna start the break herself.
Yeah.
Crossover, kick out, Ireland shot, no good.
And if this is the first time you've watched, I've seen Ireland make some good shots. Like, she's got to continue to keep shooting.
Tough ball screen there by Osgood. Caught every part of Moulton. Now Osgood attacks the basket into the paint. She takes a strong tumble to the hardwood, and she'll shoot 2.
If you watch, like, every catch is like life and death catch, right? Their face is like, and they're ripping through, and they attack hips, and everything is contact. It's not, let's get away from contact. Everything's like, I'm coming at you.
Right through it.
Yeah.
Osgood misses the first. Has a chance to extend their lead, clinging to just a 1-point advantage, and misses both. Good strong rebound by Cummings. She'll once again start the break herself. Kick out Ireland, 3 ball, no.
That one looked good too.
Rebound Rollins, 1 and done. And McCarty ahead of the pack. Finds Savage. Kick out back to McCarty, 3 ball, yes!
Wow, the energy is just shifted. There's a little more confidence in all of Mount Abram right now.
Love the way Mount Abram's moving the basketball too.
Yes.
You saw that went outside, that went inside, it went back outside to open up the shot.
And that occurred before I think even like 6 people got down the court.
And that is going to be a foul call on Osgood. A good strong take to the hole by Cummings. She'll shoot 2.
This battle has been great to watch. Now, she got her on the arm, but both of them, they are going at each other. They're fighting hard. You can see how much it means to them.
One of the best players in all of Class D girls basketball in the state of Maine on display here this afternoon. Osgood and Cummings with a great battle inside. Cummings makes the first. Osgood catches her breath. Just 1 foul on Osgood here in the first half.
Yeah, she is a kid you do not want to get in foul trouble on your team.
Cummings makes 1 of 2. Gets her team back within 3 points. Peterson starts the break. Crosses over. McCarty wants another one. Can't get it. Savage, though, is going to track down the rebound. She stepped out of bounds.
Yeah. You know, we haven't mentioned Peterson as much just because she's not really scoring as much right now, but she is one, she's confident with the basketball. She's helping them break all the pressure. She gets it to the right people in the right situations. She's been fun to watch.
Peterson and Osgood are both great rebounders on one end and then great ball handlers on the other end. And Osgood also adds a low post game into the mix. There's a 3 ball by Moulton, misses everything. Osgood, another strong rebound with a good box out.
Here comes Mount Abram.
Peterson give and go. She dribbles through a couple defenders and she's fouled. Riley Moulton.
Mount Abram's really starting to hit their own transition, right? They're able to break this pressure a little easier than they did in the first quarter. They're getting good things on the opposite side. See that reach in.
From the side, that's 2 fouls on Moulton. Now inside, Savage tried the window and missed. And Cummings, once again, leading the break and distributing, and finds Raymond, front rim, no. We'll get another crack at it. Moulton gets into a 3-pointer, no good. Brooklyn, Raymond, strong offensive rebound over Rollins. But now Rollins, look at Rollins fight.
It's a battle.
I love it. Good strong play out there from both teams. As Raymond got the rebound, got around Rollins just for a second. And she said, I don't think so. I'm going to tie this one up.
And I love Rollins is relishing in that role. Like, she is eating that up. Like, all right, I'm one-on-one against her this whole time.
Cummings takes it on a drive baseline, gets caught in a tough angle and misses with the left hand. Farley rebounds and back dribbles. Gets it to Moulton. Moulton takes it back to the tip-off circle. And she wants a set play here. It's going to be a box formation. Moulton takes it all the way to the right side herself and up and in.
That's tough. That's tough. Those screens and kind of just giving her that lane. Great read.
Osgood now back the other way. 1 point lead and 25 seconds left. That's knocked away. Going to be a turnover. EVHS chance to take the lead here before halftime. Riley Moulton going to attack the basket. Tries to leave it for Brochu. Brooklyn Raymond now has hand to her face and jump stop. Wants it back, gets it back. 4 seconds. Give and go. Raymond's going to find a shot. That was tipped, no good. And that's going to do it, Karen, for that first half of play. Fantastic first half of basketball here at the Augusta Civic Center. 22-21, Mount Abram on top as we go to the locker room. We're watching the Class D Girls Basketball State Championship game on Maine Public.
Of high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by...
At Central Maine Community College,
I'm going to be a pathologist.
there is something for everyone.
An athletic trainer, physical therapist.
Your future starts here.
A new car? A new home? Or what about that vacation you know you deserve? Why spend more when you could spend less? MaineCreditUnions.org.
Hammond Lumber Company, with 34 locations across Maine and New Hampshire, serving contractors, homeowners, and do-it-yourselfers since 1953.
Expect the unexpected at the University of Maine at Presque Isle, committed to providing an affordable education with a personalized experience full of discovery and innovation.
It's a fun way to challenge myself and see what I know.
It's a unique experience to meet other kids from around the state.
It's really, really cool to see everyone's different talents and skills.
So making a game out of it is the perfect combination.
And I can learn a lot of new fun facts and just show off my knowledge.
I just really like trivia. I know a lot of stuff and I want to share all this random stuff I know with my school to help improve school spirit.
And I want to be with my friends and hopefully win. Let's go have some fun with trivia.
And we're back at the Augusta Civic Center. We're ready to hand things over to Mike Hopkins and the PA microphone for the presentation of the Sportsmanship Award.
Mike, congratulations on your retirement, and we hope maybe next February you'll stop by and visit us again. Congratulations.
All right, Mike Burnham is retiring, Executive Director of the Maine Principals Association Interscholastic Division. Tip of the cap to Mike and his family and all his co-workers out there on the court. What a great job Mike's done at the helm.
Absolutely, and it's one of those positions that people don't always know what they do, but it is a lot, right? If we were to follow and see all the decisions that they have to make and everything they do to support sports, phenomenal career. See
Mike Bisson on your screen there. He's taken over for Mike Burnham, going from one Mike to another. So Mike Bisson will be the man in charge, starting next year. So as we talk about the first half on this one, Karen. This has been a battle on both ends, as both teams, every inch of the floor has been fought for. As we now kick things to Ethan Snow, who has Mike Burnham live down on the baseline. Let's go to Ethan.
Thank you very much, Brandon. Mike Burnham, Executive Director of the MPA, has been a staple of these tournament games for so many years and announced his retirement recently. Mike, what's this final tournament for you at the helm of the MPA been like for you?
Well, this is going to the games, coming to these facilities. It's been tremendous. That so many memories, so many great people at each site. It's bittersweet.
So obviously everybody knows you've gotten a lot of goodies here so far between last night, and you just got some more here just a few moments ago. But you'll make the trip down to Portland for tonight's games to wrap up your final tournament. But what's been through all the years you've been through? If you could pick out one memory that stands out for all of them, and I know you've seen a lot of basketball at all three sites, but what has been your top memory through your years?
I think, you're right, that there are so many of it's to pick one. But I remember standing here the night that the Gilpin boy from Hamden hit the half-court shot to win it. That one kind of sticks out. That was a special night, that championship.
I remember that one well, watching it at home. Well, on behalf of everybody at Maine Public Television, we thank you for making it such an easy and such a fun relationship over the years. We wish you best in your retirement, and for me personally, it's been fantastic getting a chance to talk to you in Portland the past couple of years. Of course, I've taken over that role with the streaming stuff down there a couple of years now. It's been such a great time to share that with you, and I myself wish you nothing but the best of your retirement, but so is everybody on Maine Public.
Thank you, and what a great partner Maine Public has been. We really enjoy working with all of the crew. WHU has been a great partner. That I leave this job really appreciating the friendships that I've made, and Ethan, you certainly are one of those.
Well, I appreciate that, sir, and I appreciate your time here today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your retirement. Brandon, Coach, back to you.
All right, what a great job by Ethan there, talking to the outgoing executive director at the MPA, Mike Burnham. And speaking of that Gilpin half-court shot from Hamden Academy, I was standing up in the northeast corner of the Augusta Civic Center to watch that. This place went nuts.
Yeah, and I think I was the direct opposite of you, and I was in shock.
Right.
It was phenomenal because it was off a free throw.
Right.
Yep. And they hit him, and he just chucked it.
Yep, just chucked it up.
And everyone just froze, and then it just went in. It was like,
it was on Sports Center Top 10 that night.
Yeah, no, it was unreal. I remember that. It was, where were you when?
Great memory there from Mike Burnham. And who knows, we could be heading towards a buzzer beater in this one as we have a tight game here at halftime, 22-21.
It's been what I find impressive is I actually think the pace of this game is more Penobscot Valley than Mount Abram. And you even heard Coach Wing say, we want to play a half-court game, we want to slow it down. But truly, they are doing a great job of having to make quick decisions, get the ball to the next person, and then when they're breaking that press, take the opportunities that they can take. And first quarter, they kind of had a couple more turnovers, but they've really settled in.
So we said in the pregame show, if the score was in the 50s or 60s, advantage PVHS. Yeah. If it was down in the 40s, maybe low 50s, then advantage Mount Abram. And we're on pace to get down in that 40s range. Exactly. So Mount Abram has the advantage. Doesn't mean they're going to win it, but this is the kind of game they want.
They want this type of game. The physicality. I don't know if you can see it on TV. I'm telling you in person. It's so exciting.
All right, we'll step away for a commercial break. We'll have second half action for you after this. You're watching the Maine High School Basketball Class D Girls State Championship on Maine Public.
high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by
Hammond Lumber Company, with 34 locations across Maine and New Hampshire, serving contractors, homeowners, and do-it-yourselfers since 1953.
Coastal Auto Parts, selling Napa Auto Parts since 1981. Owned and operated by a Maine family and proud to support student athletes.
And Coram Credit Union, inspired by brighter futures and proud to support students, athletes, and the community. Learn more at ancoramcu.com.
The environment is just awesome.
Great campus, small, close-knit community.
Everyone's really welcoming.
Everything feels very personal.
You feel like you belong here.
Borealis, the nature of Maine. Maine Public Television's Emmy Award-winning series is back with another season full of incredible stories from Maine's backcountry. We'll take you to scenic mountaintops, across pristine lakes and rivers, to the rugged coast and places beyond, searching for the people, places, and wildlife that define this great state of Maine. Join us on this adventure as we travel the backroads, trails, and waterways that connect Maine's people to the great outdoors. It all kicks off April 2nd on Maine Public Television.
22-21, Roadrunners on top over the Howlers. Welcome back to the Augusta Civic Center. Brandon Terrell alongside Coach Karen Magnuson. And Coach, we're getting ready for this second half. Any major adjustments for either team, or just kind of keep doing what you're doing?
Well, I bet Penobscot Valley first had to address what are we going to do with their triangle and two.
Yeah.
And then the issue is they have multiple kids that they're challenging shoot the ball, and they're kind of shooting it, but shooting it not with confidence.
Right.
But the difference between quarter one and quarter two is when they shot it, they got second chance, third chance shots.
Yep.
And so I think, it's hard to get kids to play confident without saying, we want you to do this.
Yep.
I think you keep saying, keep shooting the ball, but guess what? Let's go rebound, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And step in if you need to.
Be interesting to see if they stay with that triangle and two, or if they keep it in their back pocket as a changeup, as Peterson shakes loose on the sideline inbounds, and she tries to go over the front of the rim instead of finding the glass.
Yeah, that's tough.
Misses.
It was going to be her left hand, and I think she thought, I'm in the front, I'll just finish it. Great set play coming out.
As Peterson just too strong over the front of the rim, and that could have been a big two to start the second half here. PVHS catches a break, and now they have the ball to start their own possession.
Yeah, and so they're still in that triangle and two, but you see some high screens.
Cummings across to Brochu, that's blocked by Peterson. Now Brochu tries a kick out, and it's loose. Hauled in by Raymond in the corner, Cash.
There are very few players that can get denied the ball 85% of the game, and in their 15% still make huge impact.
Peterson was trying to pass that to Pepin. Pepin was trying to set a ball screen for her, and the ball was on the floor momentarily. McCarty inside the three-point line. No. Osgood had position.
Inside
and
position.
puts it up. No good. She'll shoot two.
Yeah, again, getting space right before that shot goes up.
She's been tremendous at finding the advantage down there.
Creating the advantage,
right? Not just finding it.
Not finding it. Like, a lot of kids can find the advantage. Oh, there's the open space. She's creating a lot of
without fouling, right? Being able to be physical without racking up fouls.
Right.
That one's pure. Osgood. Second one on the way. Around and in. We're tied up.
With this type of score, free throws are going to be huge all game.
24 apiece. Riley Moulton crosses the time stripe and moves right. Needs a teammate, finds Cummings in the corner. Peterson, and pokes it away there. She's able to retain it. Finds Brooklyn Raymond. Rollins guards her closely. Raymond gets tripped up, leaves it for Farley. Now Brochu resets. Calls out what she wants. It's the double stack.
Yeah, where they attack one side and they get a screen on the opposite.
Moulton steps into a three ball. No. Fought for in the corner. And it's going to stay down here. I think Mount Abram thought, I'll just let this go out of bounds and we'll get it. But it's out off of White.
Yeah, you have 3 officials. They're all watching, so they all agree with that.
Howlers. Farley in the corner. Cummings wants it inside. Instead, they'll reset out here to Moulton. A patient possession here by PVHS, trying to shake loose a good shot. Moulton to the basket. Tough angle, no. Cummings, put back, yes.
See, put shots up and go get the rebound. Great job.
And the inbounds pass too strong for Osgood. That's going to be a turnover. Be careful here. This is where PVHS can score bunches.
Yeah, and they've switched. They've gone to a man press. You could see it quickly that they matched up. So that'll be an interesting development to see how they break that.
You have completely different press breakers against man and zone, or the same one with adjustments?
Always different ones.
There we go. So they might need to set up a different one.
Big
Farley,
shot.
They're not going to guard her. She says, I'll step into this second one and knock it down. Nothing but net.
Giving confidence to kids to shoot the ball, and she did a great job there.
Evelyn Pepin takes it on a drive from the wing. She's cut off there. Good help defense by Cummings. Can't get the shot off. It's a turnover. Back to the Howlers. Raymond, crossover. 3-ball, no. Rebound, Peterson. Now Abram could use a set here. And they get it to McCarty. McCarty takes it on a drive. And she's ridden along the baseline by Raymond. Too hard, that'd be a foul.
And we talked earlier about traditional point guards. Like Peterson, like this is a great take. You could see her feeling that, so she puts that up to draw that attention. But Peterson did a great job right there, not turning it over, getting to a spot, kicking to a partner.
That small transition we talked about between press breaker and half-court offense, Peterson did a nice job there.
So important in those moments.
Patient,
yes.
Let the traffic clear, get it back to McCarty.
Yeah.
McCarty splashes through the second one, and they're back within 3 points.
You were right about PVHS, like just those small moments, they can just rack up quick points, right? Like 5 quick points, and that's why little things like free throws are big.
Raymond gets into that one, shoots it long. Pepin gets the long rebound. She wants to go coast to coast. And great hustle by Farley to cut her off. Osgood gets a jumper. That's too strong. How about that strong rebound by Raymond?
Yeah.
Now she goes around the back. And up to Farley. Farley's left open. She'll take another one. Oh, back rim, no good. There's a collision out here near half court. That'll go on Farley.
And I don't know if you saw, but that's a big hit. During halftime, Farley only shot in that one spot the whole time. The left slot, that's her shot. And she stuck the first one, missed that one, but you watch this.
Looked good.
It
was
good.
right on line. That second one was too.
She just sat there and just practiced that one spot.
Now it's the chess match. You wonder if Coach Wing says, are we going to come out and guard her now or not? And we're going to get a moving screen called on Jenna Osgood.
And you see Mount Abram needs some of that to release that pressure to set up and help.
See Osgood
still moving.
Screen on the ball there. Just moved her feet into it. There's 2 fouls on Osgood. Now Mount Abram sitting in this triangle and 2. And Moulton gets loose to McCarty, fires up a 3, no. Brochu had the ball and Osgood just took it right away. Tied it up anyway.
She wants it.
That's right.
Do we have a replay of that? I mean, she basically watched this.
Ask and you shall receive.
I am taking it right here. Like just.
Brochu's like, what happened? I was going for a putback, and all of a sudden the ball's torn away. Now the Howlers.
So physically strong.
Cummings works to her left to a tough angle and misses. Goes to Mount Abram.
And we talked about this earlier. Getting things at the basket in the half court is so hard against Mount Abram.
Now McCarty. Cross court, Peterson. Peterson Euro steps into the paint. Off the glass, no. And rebounds tied up. And will stay down here.
Great read by Peterson. Good Euro. And she's probably going to be just a little more aggressive that way, just to make them have to make choices on how to defend her. That can open up things for her teammates.
So flat along the baseline. Inbound to McCarty. Osgood wants it inside. Finds Pepin on a kick out. She'll go for a drive inside the paint and have it ripped away. Cummings gets that one. She starts the break herself. Now gets into the paint and all the way up and in.
I feel like Cummings and Osgood's game right now is just a chess match. Like, it's just back and forth.
Now another turnover, and the Howlers doing their thing. Their lead is out to 5. They're forcing turnovers. Now kick out. Farley gets another 3.
Winner. She just slid 5 feet over. It's like, I can hit that.
2 huge threes here in the third quarter for Farley. And PVHS has an 8-point lead. Osgood to the bucket. No. Savage can't get the rebound. Cummings surrounded by Roadrunners, and she's fouled.
Great read by Osgood. She was almost going to pull up early, and then she used her as a screen to get around her.
See the rebounding action there.
Savage fights there.
Savage was in position, but Cummings comes flying in, much like Osgood did on the other end, and just wanted that ball a little more.
Yeah.
Personal foul number 2. Team foul number 2.
How quickly a couple threes can, extend those leads. We're looking at an 8-point game right now.
Riley Moulton explodes to the right side, and now Brochu stop and pop. Too strong, no. Gets her own rebound. Kick out Farley, another one. No.
Oh, it was close.
everybody
paused. It's that great spot.
That's right. Oh, that's backcourt. Now Abram maybe getting a little tired legs here in the third quarter, leading a couple mistakes.
How would you not in this pace?
That's right.
I mean, both, and that's a good.
Right on cue, Coach Wing says, give me a full timeout. Let's get a breather and some water here.
But hey, you think of what do you say to a high school kid in these moments to make sure they want to come out and play with the confidence? PVHS has really communicated that, and they've come out strong.
Hey folks, season 9 of High School Quiz Show Maine returns on Thursday, March 19th. Tune in to watch schools from around the state match wits and compete for the $1,000 prize. This season, schools from Orono to Bethel to Portland will battle it out for the championship with host Todd Gutner. It all starts Thursday, March 19th at 8 p.m. on Maine Public Television.
You look at Farley shooting, right? And she's 40%, I think it said, from 3 all this tournament. She went 0 for 3 in the first half, then started questioning her shot. And I bet you in the locker room, why are you questioning your shot?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
shoot the ball, right?
And Mount Abram had gone to a triangle and 2, right? So much attention paid to Raymond and Moulton.
Right.
They're saying, well, we'll let Farley shoot those. And, Coach Case at halftime, as you said, say, we need you to shoot those.
Right.
And she's made a couple huge ones here in the third quarter.
It'll be our job to figure out what do we do after your shot.
Oh, now Coach Case wants a full timeout. Back-to-back 60-second timeouts as both coaches want to rest up their teams here, I guess, midway through this third quarter.
Well, I think part of that is Cummings is out getting wrapped.
Oh, okay.
So I think they subbed.
Cummings is getting some attention down there at the end of the bench.
But I don't know if they subbed her and put someone in and then called the timeout. I'm not sure, but I think they're trying to get her right back in.
Yeah, it looks like she's still in there. So Coach Case uses one of his full 60-second timeouts to make sure that Lila Cummings doesn't have to come out of the game. Probably a good decision.
Yeah. At this point, you got 3 minutes left in the third. Every possession matters.
Mount Abram was able to build a small lead heading into the locker room at halftime. Third quarter has belonged to the Howlers as they've been forcing some turnovers. You said they changed from a zone to a man-to-man full court press. They've gotten some big turnovers out of that here in the third quarter.
Yeah. And I do think, it comes down to hitting some shots. When you start to hit shots, it just makes the game so much easier, and you've seen them be able to do that.
All right, we've got 2 full timeouts. Teams have gotten a quick breather and some water, and we're ready to go. Double screen on the right, and Moulton tries to stop. Now leaves it for Cummings. Tries to go across to Brochu. That's knocked out of bounds by Abram.
And they have a good little set. They're trying to set double screens on the top of that triangle and on the ball to try to get, Moulton or even Raymond open going to the rim. Getting good options.
They are still in that triangle and 2. Now Moulton dribbles it out and resets. McCarty is one of the 2 man-to-man on Moulton. And they'll leave it for Brochu. Peterson, top of the triangle, takes her. Now on the wing, back to Moulton, across to Raymond. Raymond gets into a 3-pointer, no. Rebound action. To say that's out off of Osgood.
Don't you think every time Raymond shoots it's going in?
Yep.
It just looks so good.
Funny you say that. I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, that was in rhythm. She gets her
beautiful.
feet in order every time.
She's under control.
Surprised when it misses.
Yeah.
Now here's Raymond. Rollins battling her, and that's called a foul. Trying to reach in and tie it up.
She has had a tall job to do today, but she has done it well. She's really worked so hard at just trying to make every possession hard for Raymond.
Howlers, straight line inbound into Moulton. She'll run a few moments off the clock. Bit of a double screen up the top, and Moulton, tough angle, no, and Osgood gets that rebound.
And here's that transition of, oof.
See some ice on that shoulder later. And McCarty takes it into the paint, tries a floater, too short, and frustration foul.
And all of those are all good opportunities and good looks. You're going to want to see Osgood, though, get the ball back in her hands, right?
Yeah.
In this couple minutes, she needs to get herself back on the block and demand to have the ball and see if she can get herself to the foul line.
They've been stuck on 26 for a while here.
A little bit.
Under 2 minutes to play here, third quarter. Brooklyn Raymond inside Cummings. Goes to her left hand, no. Good rebound by Savage.
Savage is doing a great job just making those tough shots for Cummings to take.
Surprised they're not trying to challenge that post-entry pass like they did right there into Savage. She leaves it short. Osgood says, give me that. Put it up left hand.
It's hard. She has to help the press breaker.
Right.
Then she's on the perimeter. You got to get her back inside.
Osgood with a big 2 points, get back within 6. We have a 2-possession game here. Moulton. Raymond runs through traffic out to the other side. Shakes loose of Rollins. And 3-pointers too strong. Osgood 2-on-1 trying to battle. And now a foul on Savage.
Savage actually did a great job in that possession to close out to Raymond in the corner and then get back to even get to this ball to make a play here.
And comes down right across the arms there. Osgood battling underneath, trying to rebound, but she's often taken on multiple Howlers.
Well, you've definitely seen them.
Gets it.
You've seen them crash the boards a lot harder.
Yeah. And out of the triangle and two, that can kind of be challenging. Your two-man guys are running around on the perimeter, trying to chase after the guards. That really just leaves your triangle. Sometimes it leaves on an island to try to defend.
Right.
Second one's Cash. And the lead's back to 8. Under a minute to play here, third quarter.
So they've changed it up again. They've changed it up so many times. I love watching their defenses.
Back to the 1-2-2 half-court zone.
Yeah.
Osgood in the middle of that. Peterson, pump fake, drives baseline. Tough angle, no. Knocked away from behind. Raymond has it.
She does such a good job of getting opportunities for herself. She needs like that one more dribble to just get off the backboard on that, or the up and under, or the Euro. She had one more dribble to her left to finish on the other side. She has all the right reads.
Now PVHS, as Coach Case wants a couple players who are not the two being manned out top here, and Peterson did a nice job. Osgood almost knocked it away. Uh-oh, Raymond, corner, no. Look who, Lila Cummings, with a rebound and a putback.
Lila Cummings. Shoot the ball, we'll get the rebounds.
Peterson's got to put it up, and she does from deep. It's too strong. That's going to do it for your third quarter of action. Headed to the fourth, PVHS on top, 38-28 over Mount Abram. You're watching the Maine State Championship Class D girls basketball game on Maine Public.
Production of high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by...
At Central Maine Community College,
I'm going to be a pathologist.
There is something for everyone.
An athletic trainer, physical therapist.
Your future starts here.
Sheridan Construction, a Maine company committed to building on their promise for over 75 years.
At Thomas College, we do college differently. We do academics differently. We do community differently. We do careers differently. It's time to do college differently.
watch one again? Maine Public is rebroadcasting all of the state final games this weekend. Last night's Class B games were seen this morning, but today's games begin tonight at 10 p.m. with a replay of the Class C girls. Then championship weekend picks up at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning for a full day of state final excitement, starting with the Class C boys at 6 a.m. For the full replay schedule, head to mainpublic.org/basketball. Got to get up early tomorrow morning, Karen. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Settle in for a long day of the state game replays.
We're very lucky with how fun these games are to watch, and then to be able to watch them a second time.
Peterson extends that triangle, or at least the top of it, out to take on Cummings. She was closely guarded for several seconds there. Didn't get to 5. And now again, Peterson on Cummings. Now out to Moulton. Moulton back dribbles, has McCarty on her.
You can see they're going to be a little more patient. Up 10, they don't have to force. They're going to run some offense.
Try to force Mount Abram to make a decision about this triangle in 2.
Right.
Do we stay in it?
And that's the thing. It's hard because you want to stay in it to keep it from scoring, but you actually have to cut this deficit down. So it's really hard to make that decision. What's going to work for your team right now?
And the girls who aren't Moulton and Raymond, who are being manned, doing a nice job here, handling the ball.
Well, they have switched to man. So they've been running a flex, and you see Mount Abram's quickly switched. So they're right now in a man.
The chess match continues now. Yeah. PVHS running time from the flex. And now almost knocked away by Osgood. That's a pile up on the floor. And there's going to be a foul called on Cummings. Yes.
Yeah. Osgood has a nose for the ball. She just keeps going and going and going.
See Osgood reach around and then dive. And she's the first one to touch that. Foul goes on Cummings there in that action.
Those are one of those, like, accidental fouls. Like, you have to call it. You laid on her.
Yeah.
But we also understand, you're both going after the ball.
Wasn't really your fault, but
right.
It was a foul committed. And that's kind of an unforced turnover there. That's what Mount Abram can't have here in the fourth quarter.
Now you wonder, and it looks like maybe they're going to try. No, they're still staying man. I like Mount Abram's 2-2-1 that they were trying to run at times.
Half-court man, and Moulton goes to her right, gets past the initial defender, leaves it for Cummings, left it short, but the rebound is fought for, and there's a crash out there. PVHS wins it. Moulton leaves to Raymond. Raymond thought about it. Now back to Moulton. They'll run some more clock. Leaves for Cummings. Cummings takes it to her left, cut off by Osgood, and she dribbled right out of bounds, but it was off Osgood's leg.
And they were trying to run a set. I actually love this set where Cummings makes that reversal and comes off a double screen, a back screen off it for a wide open layup, but she was getting so pressured that she tried to attack.
PVHS and Coach Case runs good sets.
Yes.
As that's been on display throughout this state game. Cummings leaves for Brochu in the baseline. Guarded by Osgood. Osgood, too strong of a reach in there. That's going to be her third.
Yeah. I think Mount Abram plays a lot with their body. They don't always reach, which is why it's so difficult to probably ref their games. But that one, that's a simple call just because, you saw that. You can see it up by the body.
Down by 10, fourth quarter, 6 minutes left in her high school career.
Yeah.
You got to reach in and get after it at this point. I hope the Maine General Sports Medicine staff has some ice for these two teams in the locker room after this one. This has been a physical affair.
Yeah, but we knew that coming in.
We need some ice buckets in both locker rooms. And Moulton takes it strong to the right, leaves it for Brochu. Brochu works a pivot foot. And now kicks it out. Farley back to Raymond. Raymond. And she's fouled by Rollins.
I'll tell you, just watching small things, like they have a good sense of what to do with the basketball. The ball was in the paint. You see this right here, reaching right there. But, they had it in the paint. You think it's going to be 3 seconds. They quickly get out, and you see them take that quick jump out of the paint. Like, they recognize 3 seconds. They recognize when they're getting a count.
Basketball IQ.
Oh, such good IQ.
Now Moulton, hounded by McCarty, goes behind the back, clears some space. And now gets it back. Runs some more clock. Picks up a tough ball screen from Farley.
Yeah. Both teams set really hard ball screens.
Raymond almost dragged her pivot foot, but instead was fouled by McCarty.
You see, I mean, we've run 3 minutes off.
Yep.
Right? Like that's.
Without turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Right? Against this tough, strong, physical defense on the biggest stage there is in Maine high school basketball. And this is why they won gold ball last year and going for back-to-back today. And that's torn away by Rollins. Under 5 minutes remaining, down by 10. Roadrunners need points. And that's knocked away by Farley.
Mount Abram's relentless. They have not stopped. And we kept wondering, can they keep giving? Can they keep giving? They have.
Will they run out of gas?
Yeah.
They haven't yet.
No, and there's multiple people that haven't been subbed out once.
Both these teams, starters playing a lot of minutes. They're in great physical condition. Rollins gets into the paint. That's rejected by Cummings. Cummings says, get it out of here.
And again, what good knowledge, right? We're going to slow it down and bring it back out. Let's run a set.
Mount Abram has really struggled to score here in the second half. And Cummings, strong take, no. Brochu up, no. A third look at it, though, as PVHS starting to win those offensive rebounds. Raymond, foul line, stop, pop, no. Peterson's hand was in her face, and that'll be Roadrunners' ball.
Wherever the ball goes, the physicality, like they're just, both teams are fighting so hard knowing what's on the line in 4 minutes.
That's what it takes to stop one of these PVHS possessions. You see how hard Mount Abram plays defense, defense, defense.
Yes.
Then PVHS gets an offensive rebound. Then they get another one, right? You got to keep working through such a long possession just to stop this team. Now Peterson. I said it last time. It still holds true. Mount Abram needs points. They're down by 10. 4 minutes remaining, state championship. Now Peterson gets it to McCarty. She'll shoot up a three-pointer and miss. Savage wants the offensive rebound and gets it. Out to Pepin. Pepin drives into the paint, kicks to Peterson from the corner. Three ball, no. Savage, another rebound. Put back, no. Another one, Savage. She gets that one to go.
That was needed right now. Now they've got to figure out in 3.5, how can you create turnovers right now?
Back to an 8-point deficit for Mount Abram. PVHS using their veteran savvy. Trio of captains have led them here in this one with some great supporting cast. Farley with the ball here has had a big second half shooting. Moulton now with Pepin on her, drives all the way, puts the brakes on, finds Brochu, elbow jumper, no. Rebound Savage.
Yeah, they ran off 40 seconds though, right?
That's why every possession now Mount Abram needs some points, at least get a good look at it. McCarty, hand in her face.
Oh,
Fish!
boy.
Woo!
Well, that just mixed it up a little bit.
Lila Cummings' hand was right in her face. McCarty says it doesn't matter. I'm going to step up and cash this through anyways.
And that just created some hope, some energy in this building.
As knocked away by Pepin. Moulton, a little too laissez-faire. Pepin up and in.
And we got a timeout, but can you look at the stands?
Mount Abram crowd going nuts.
High school basketball. This is amazing.
Haven't won a state championship since 2007. Almost 20 years since they've been back in this game, and that crowd is loving every second of this comeback. In a blink of an eye, Mount Abram is back within 3.
Yeah, what a great steal. And you could see her slow down. She's like, I'm going to make this, and I'm going to make sure I make this.
Moulton,
great job.
Holding the ball above her head, trying to reset, trying to be patient. Pepin says no time for patience. It's under 3 minutes left to play.
And you know what I love about Pepin? She shot it with her right hand because she's thinking, I don't need to show that I need to make this with my left. I just want to make it.
I just need to make this.
I just need to make it, and I'm going to make sure I make it.
It's a one-possession game now as Mount Abram has exploded to get back within 3.
Now, I'll say this. PVHS has tried to knock the clock down, but they still have had good shots.
That's right.
Like, they took 40 seconds off and got, a foul line jumper wide open. So, I mean, it's not like they're trying to never shoot it. They're just going to try to take their best options.
They've got some strong offensive rebounds as well here in the second half.
Just
so
a couple
Abram,
things didn't fall.
Abram really has to box out and rebound. It might help that they're back into half-court man rather than the triangle. And that's knocked around, and Osgood's going to come out of there with it. Player still down on the court is Farley, but they're going to let this play out here with Mount Abram with the advantage. And now Farley is hustling back into the play. Pepin is open, puts up the jumper. That's blocked by Cummings. What a defensive play by the senior. It was 5-on-4 for that possession.
Yeah.
Lila Cummings steps up and blocks that shot.
Here they go again, running something that they're going to be confident in.
Farley now setting tough screens. And Brooklyn Raymond in the corner. Now she'll back dribble. Back to Moulton. Approaching 90 seconds left in the state championship game. PVHS nursing a 3-point advantage. Raymond
heavily guarded.
Gives it for Cummings. Peterson draped on her. And too much hands. That's a hand check.
That's only 4, so one more would put him on the line.
On Abram foul on number 5. Stella Peterson, personal foul number 2.
I mean, what do you do?
Foul number 4.
You're down 3. Do you like fouling, or do you like say, we're going to try to continue to go for steals?
Just got a turnover on the last possession.
That's
so
what I think.
I want to keep playing defense
That's what
right
I
here.
think.
Keep playing. Oh,
there's a foul.
oh, that's why we're over here with the microphones on, I guess, right?
I know, we get paid the big bucks.
They're going to go ahead and foul them and put them on the line.
Yeah. And part of that, right, is you know your own team.
Yeah.
You know your team better than anybody else.
Right.
And when people can say, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this, and no, this is exactly what my team needs to do.
You've been through these end game situations with your team multiple times throughout the season.
Yeah.
And that one's missed by Moulton.
And I think Coach Wing has coached, both coaches have coached a great game, but Coach Wing has really mixed it up defensively, had great strategies to try to take out their best shooters.
Coach Case has also switched up defensive. They've run good offensive sets. That one is around and in, and we have a 2-possession game now. That was a huge shot to get the lead out to 4. Now Osgood has the ball up top. See if they can get it back to Osgood. McCarty's shot is blocked again by Cummings.
Block.
2 enormous blocks, actually 3 enormous blocks
I was gonna say.
here in the 4th quarter by Cummings. Wow.
And that's a big shot not to go in, right? That goes in. It's a 1-point game. Mount Abrams has all this momentum. What a great read to get out there.
Cummings with the closeout. I don't think she's come off the floor in this game, so she's 30-plus minutes out on this floor.
Yeah.
High-intensity game. She still has the legs to close out that hard and get the block.
Jeez. And here she's at the free throw line. She is tough.
As cool as the other side of the pillow.
Yeah.
At the foul line, knocking down that one. The lead's out to 5. Coach Case calling out what he wants for a defense. Cummings misses that one. Important rebound by Peterson. Peterson facing some pressure here off a miss. Like we've talked about, Osgood, Coach Wing wants a timeout to talk about it.
And that's the thing, when you can run different defenses, so they've been running a 1-2-2, back to now a 2-2-1. They go man, like there's so many different ways to attack with pressure. It is so hard for kids to make reads in those situations.
It almost becomes, backyard basketball at that point, right? It's like there's no time to stop and dissect what defense they're in and what set we want to be in. You just got to go, right? You got to move the ball. You got to dribble into open space. You got to make some shots.
Right, and at this point, all these teams are in goal ball. You all have great ball handlers.
Right.
Because at some point, you've had to be able to do that, right? You've had to be able to break pressure like we're seeing today. And I'm impressed by both teams today, how hard they fought, the things they're throwing at each other, and all the adjustments that are made.
So inbound from the sideline in the backcourt. Mount Abram got to go quickly. They're down by 5, under a minute remaining. They need a bucket. Doesn't need to be a 3, but they need a bucket here rather quickly. And then go on defense, put pressure back on PVHS. Pepin, skip pass. Peterson, deep 3-pointer. No. Pepin with the rebound. And she digs in, and it goes off her own foot. That's going to be a turnover.
That's an unlucky dribble that goes out, but she was trying to get herself set to go up with strength.
Tell you, Peterson just barely missed that 3-pointer off the front rim.
Yeah.
And Brochu's ahead of the pack. They'll get it up to her. Can she put it up and in? It's blocked by Osgood. Oh, the hustle from the senior captain.
Never stopping this team.
34.8 seconds remaining in this game. PVHS 5-point lead and the basketball. Baseline inbounds. Got to get it in and does to Moulton. She'll back dribble to run clock. Osgood tried to foul her. And now Osgood tries to foul her again and does so.
Yeah, and again, IQ of Osgood right there. She knew the situation. She knows they need to put him on the line. So she had to extend out because that wasn't who she was covering. She had to extend out to get that foul.
Riley Moulton, 13 points per game. 2 big foul shots. First one misses.
You know, I don't think we've given enough credit to her defensive intensity. Like, you know, it's hard when you have somebody face guard you all game and maybe the offense hasn't been exactly what she's wanted, but defensively watching her on her press, she has been tough.
Knocks down the second one, leads back to 6. Mount Abram now might need to look for a 3-pointer. And they tried to get it over to McCarty. That's knocked away. It's going to be a turnover. That's not what they needed. Now PVHS is feeling it.
I think both teams have given their best shots at each other tonight, haven't they?
They had to earn it, both of them.
Both teams.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it wasn't easy.
This is a close, physical, well-fought, well-played, well-executed basketball game from start to finish. And Lila Cummings, first one, no. Senior captain. Get another look at it here. PVHS, 19 seconds away from back-to-back state championships, 1 in Class C, 1 in Class D. Second one is good, lead is 7. And that's almost stolen away there by Moulton.
There's Moulton. Tell you, if you go back and watch this film and just watch her on defense, she is so active. She's got great hands, good anticipation.
Peterson finds Pepin, and Cummings is right there to challenge her, and she's cut off on the baseline. Back out to Peterson through her hands. That'll be another turnover as PVHS defense tough right to the end.
Yeah, wow. What a great game by both teams. Fun to watch, fun to call.
Having a great time, and knocked out of bounds by Pepin.
7-point game, 6 seconds left. Game is over, and yet they're still going to fight.
Big crowd in here at the Augusta Civic Center this afternoon. Watch the Howlers complete their back-to-back state championship seasons as that's inbounded. And that was tipped by Mount Abram.
No, I think it went out of bounds. It's going to be Mount Abram's basketball.
Oh, Mount Abram ball. Coach Wing wants a timeout to talk about it. Going to be a tough road back, down 7, 4 seconds left. What do you want out of the sideline inbounds here, Coach?
Yeah, I think he's still trying to coach, right? Like let's try to get something. They're gonna have to get a 3 at this point, but sometimes, and I've been in those spaces where you're not looking at the clock right now, you just know what you need to do, right? If he looks at the clock, he's probably thinking, oh, geez, yeah, it's 7. But he probably hasn't. He's probably thinking, all right, we need a turnover, we got it. All right, now we need a 3, let's get it. You know, and you just keep coaching to the end.
Let's see what he drew up on the whiteboard. And it's into Savage. Savage back to Osgood as time expires, and this one shot is no good, and that's going to do it. The Howlers are going to bring another gold ball back to Howland. Congratulations, PVHS 2026 Girls Class D State Champions.
Back to back. That's got to feel good.
It's an incredibly hard accomplishment. Ask Coach Case, what's your secret? What is these girls' secret to win all these championships? He said the only secret is there is no secret. It's all hard work.
Yeah, right. And I thought both teams had that tonight. Without question, both teams had that.
It's a testament to the big 3 of PVHS, Raymond, Moulton, and Cummings. The trio of captains led the charge here this afternoon. Tough, physical basketball game. And they're going to take home another gold ball on their school bus up I-95, up to Howland, and celebrate a 7-point victory.
What excitement for communities, right? Like PVHS is celebrating their second, but Mount Abram has nothing to be upset about. What an incredible season that they've had, and they've had a great following. Great turnout for these girls. Like, this is such a great atmosphere.
The Mount Abram crowd was phenomenal.
On behalf of the Maine Principals Association and Hammond Lumber Company,
I always go back and forth watching different groups. I watch the celebration, and then I have a, makes me sad for seniors, right, and how they react after.
It's a big thought that this is all over for them,
Yeah.
right? Those 12th graders will never again get to put this uniform on and be out here on this floor. That's a tough one, but that's part of high school sports too.
Yeah, and if you watch, look at both benches. Coaches are talking to their kids.
All right, yeah. All right, we're ready now to send things over to the PA microphone and Dave Hopkins.
Communities and the entire state of Maine basketball well. For the seniors on both teams, thank you. Thank you for all of your leadership throughout your high school basketball careers, and we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Now on the court, representing the Maine Principals Association, are TJ Maines, Athletic Director at Coney High School, and Peter McLaughlin, Assistant Principal, Messalonsky High School. And representing Hammond Lumber Company is Al Feather, Vice President of Operations in the Central Region. To begin the award presentation, we'd like to ask Head Coach Jason Wing of Mount Abram and his assistant, Shara Osgood, to please come forward in helping with the presentation of awards. Team personnel. Freshman Willow Batchelder. Freshman Nadia Moore. Freshman Avery Pratt. Freshman Jasmine Carlton. Freshman Trinity Wright. Freshman Violet Wyman. Sophomore Kaylee Viles. Sophomore Evelyn Pepin. Sophomore Stella Peterson. Junior Vega Rollins. Senior Captain Sakari Savage. Senior Captain Autumn Emery. Senior Captain Abby McCarty. And Senior Captain Jenna Osgood. On behalf of the Maine Principals Association and Hammond Lumber Company, it is our pleasure to present the runner-up plaque for the 2026 Maine Class D Girls State Basketball Championships to Mount Abram High School. Congratulations. And now, to present the awards to your 2026 Maine Class D State Basketball Champions of Penobscot Valley High School. We'd like to ask Head Coach Nate Case, along with his assistants, Alex Mooney, Brad Parody, and Lexi Ireland, please come forward. Managers. Freshman Melanie Pelletier. Junior Emma Lee Mailman. And junior Emmy Coyle. Team personnel. 8th grader, Julia LeBrun. Eighth grader, McKenna Ireland. Freshman, Casey Loring. Freshman, Paxton King. Sophomore, Nicole Solomon. Sophomore, Charlotte Brochu. Junior, Abby Farley. Junior captain, Brooklyn Raymond. Senior captain, Riley Moulton. And senior captain, Lila Cummings. On behalf of the Maine Principals Association and Hammond Lumber Company, it is our pleasure to present the Championship Gold Ball Trophy for the 2026 Maine Class D Girls Basketball Championships to Penobscot Valley High School. Congratulations.
And the Howlers celebrating with the gold ball in front of their fan section. And a standing ovation from the faithful who drove down from Howland to see them go back to back. Another gold ball for the trophy case.
They are excited, but they look exhausted. They worked for it, right? Man, what a great team.
They worked for that one. We're going to send it to a break. After that, we'll cover the net cutting and send it to Ethan Snow. We'll be back after this, watching the Maine High School Basketball State Championships on Maine Public.
Production of high school basketball on Maine Public Television is made possible by people like you and by
Expect the unexpected at the University of Maine at Presque Isle, committed to providing an affordable education with a personalized experience full of discovery and innovation.
Thanks to Maine Credit Union's Surf Network, I have access to the largest surcharge-free ATM network in the state. Find a Surf ATM at mainecreditunions.org.
Hammond Lumber Company, serving contractors, homeowners, and do-it-yourselfers with building supplies and custom services from 34 locations across Maine and New Hampshire.
The environment is just awesome.
Great campus, small, close-knit community.
Everyone's really welcoming.
Everything feels very personal.
You feel like you belong here.
And we're back at the Augusta Civic Center as the PVHS Howlers continue cutting down the nets. We have them both off here. We're coordinating.
I love this. I love watching them wait for their moment to swing, celebrate with their teammates, get some pictures. They're both like, are you ready?
Okay, we're on camera
Who's
here.
ready?
We're going to make this look good. Here we go.
There we go.
Well done.
And those are going to be some great pictures that eventually they'll print and frame and put up at their house.
Cummings and Moulton. Now Farley and Raymond get a turn. Well earned. Farley, those massive three-pointers in the second half. Strong physical play, setting screens, playing defense. She was a huge part of that victory. Special programming note, tonight at 6:30 p.m. following the Class D boys game, Maine Public will air a PBS NewsHour special report, War with Iran. This will not interrupt our basketball coverage, which will resume at 7 p.m. at the Class C girls from Augusta. Class A games will be broadcast on Maine Public World Channel. For more information, go to mainpublic.org.
You have kids going, wait, I'm going up? Oh, I forgot. It's cute. I don't think they talked about this before. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
That's right.
sometimes
they didn't practice this?
They didn't practice this. They're like, oh wait, someone else is going up? Oh, okay.
Coach Case is going to take a turn.
He's still at half court.
Yeah.
He's still at half court. He's organizing them, though. Look.
There we go.
That's fun, though, right? Like, as a coach, you must enjoy sitting and watching your kids in those moments. Like, they've just fought for all those months.
Yeah.
To get to this point where they win a game and they get to swing a net, right? Like, sounds so simple, and yet it's not.
He talked about 5 regular season losses. 3 were to undefeated Bangor Christian. 2 were to undefeated Mattanock Academy. They talked about after those losses, getting back in the gym, running extra sprints before the regional tournament. Seems like that paid off here today. They were able to keep their high pace of play throughout the whole thing. And a job very well done by PVHS.
I'm excited to hear their discussions after how happy they are and what this has meant to them.
106 miles back up I-95 to Howland. And they're bringing another gold ball home.
That's going to be a fun trip. Those are the fun bus rides.
Right.
That's the stuff that means something.
Those are the ones you remember.
Yep. They're setting themselves up for pictures. And just think, all that excitement, there's so much more to come today.
That's right. That's
You've got 3 more. You've got another one next. Like,
that's right. I'm going to need some water.
Yeah.
Maybe a quick power nap. I don't know. I got to regain myself here, refocus. That was really something. That was fun.
It is fun calling these games, especially when you get into it, right?
Yeah.
You know how meaningful it is to the players, and
the energy that's in this building is electric and contagious.
Yeah. It sounds silly, but it feeds us when we're calling it. It's just really fun moments.
The team picture there. Hang that one up in the trophy case beside the gold ball. An excellent picture. See how happy the coaching staff is.
I love these signs.
What a great addition.
Isn't that awesome? And
really
every
is.
kid, they all get them.
Yep.
They take them home.
They look great in all the sports pictures.
They're
and
awesome.
Soccer and football state champs in the fall. Nice addition to these pictures. They get to take them home, like you said, and get one hung up in school starting on Monday, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And the cheerleaders coming out to join the team picture as well.
Do you think we could photo bomb? Should
Sure. I mean, we're in the back here.
I want to be a part of a basketball goal ball. We're working on it. This is awesome. Look at Raymond on her tippy toes. She wants to make sure she's at the same level as everyone else. Raymond, you don't need to. Your shoes are amazing, and you're a phenomenal player. Don't worry about it. What a cool shot. 3 more to go. Unreal.
Back-to-back state championships. And they lose 2 of their senior captains, but they'll be back next year, try to make it 3 in a row.
Yeah. Boy, their captains were fun to watch, but they're seniors, right?
Yep.
Cummings and Moulton did so many great things for them tonight. I mean, this was a gutsy win, right? The physicality.
Lean on your leaders in these kinds of games, right?
Yeah.
These kinds of physical battles, intense moments, biggest stage there is in Maine high school basketball. And that's what both of these teams did, really. Osgood, we talked about her leadership, especially in the first half, which was so impressive on both ends of the floor.
Right.
And these PVHS senior captains, all 3 captains really, and what they were able to do in the second half. I think of Moulton able to back dribble out, take time off the clock, run offense without turning the ball over. And I think we're ready now to send things down to the winners and Ethan Snow. Take it away, Ethan.
Thank you very much, Brandon. I'm standing by with a victorious group of Howlers. They're happy, they're ready. Start with you, Lila. What a game. You're up 10 at the end of the third quarter. Then Mount Abram comes storming back. Impressive defense there in the fourth quarter to snuff out any sort of rally. What's going through your mind?
We knew they wouldn't roll over on us. We knew they were going to keep coming out firing. And we knew we had to play defense the whole time and just stay locked in the entire time to get the win.
Close game at the end of the first half as well, but that third quarter was all you. You knew it was going to be a battle with them. That third quarter really sets you up for success in the fourth quarter to turn that offense into defense. Take me through that third quarter. You led your team with 15 points, but take me through that third quarter offensively.
We knew what we had to do going into halftime. We knew we had to pick it up. So we were all working together. We knew staying connected would help us push through. And our defense was going to turn into our offense, and it worked out very well for us.
See if we can get Coach in here real quick. Coach Case! Coach Case! See if we slide him in real quick before we send it back to the table. Coach, get on in here. Coach, take me back to the end of the third quarter. You're up 10. Mount Abram puts off a fierce rally. Talk about your defense in that fourth quarter.
It was pretty good. We switched some things, and I just at survival mode at that point, and they're not going to quit. We're not going to quit, and so it's just a testament to their championship mindset. They've been there before. When they cut it to 3, I still trusted we were in a good spot. I wasn't honestly that nervous because they're out there, right? So they're built for this. So
this one feel any different than the last?
This was a lot harder than last year. This was a lot harder. To keep us all locked in all year after already doing it. Everyone to start the season said, Coach, this is a lot harder than the first one. And now I totally agree with them. This was a lot harder.
All right, ladies. Well, you know you've done this before. I'm going to ask you to do it again. Tell the camera what it's like to be state champs for a second straight year. Brandon, Coach, back to you.
All right, thank you, Ethan. How about that? It's a happy group of Howlers headed back up I-95. Congratulations to Coach Case. That's going to do it for the Class D Girls Basketball State Championship from the Augusta Civic Center. I'm Brandon Terrell for Coach Karen Magnuson and the entire production crew saying goodnight, everybody.